It's this one. Ready?
I'm Jake Schriner.
I'm Bob Nelson.
I'm Tracey White.
I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is the Compass Conversation Podcast.
Yay!
Yay!
We'll follow you.
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
That's fine. And we're back.
Okay, we're back.
Is that good? We'll find out. If not, just we can pose for like we're in like this huge fit of laughter.
People would just be waiting for the joke the whole time they're watching.
I know. Hey, when did that happen? I hate to bring this in.
Well, hi, welcome, guys. Good to see you guys on this beautiful Monday. We got a beautiful day today, beautiful day tomorrow, and then here it comes again. That's all right. It's March.
At least it's a regular March storm. That's good.
Yeah, it's March in Colorado.
Not like it was last week with what was that? Winter redux.
Right?
It'll be fine. Well, hey, I'm on spring break and enjoying this little break, but I'm a little sleepy today, so we're going to get started. To my right, Jake Schriner. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thank you. Yes, I am also tired from the time change. I am not on spring break, so I had to work a full day today. Yeah. No, I'm doing good. Had a really nice weekend. My parents were in town, so that was fun. My little brother is getting into town right after the podcast is over. Then we're gonna go out to dinner and hang out for the evening, and then tomorrow he's driving, I think, out to Moab and then on to Seattle over the next few days. Spend some time out there, and then he'll drive back through in like a week and a half and spend a couple nights here.
Cool.
So
Nice.
yeah, he's kind of emulating the trip my parents just did. Like he's been planning this trip for like 5 months. The 22-year-old kid, he's like, my dad retires a month ago, and he's like, I want to go on a road trip, and he just does the trip that my little brother's been planning for a long time. It's kind of fun.
The joy of retirement.
Yeah, absolutely. He can do whatever he wants. No, and it was really cool to see because I don't think I've ever seen my dad like that relaxed.
Oh, great.
Which is phenomenal. So I was super happy to see him just enjoying himself and enjoying his time. He gets to do whatever he wants now. So yeah. Other than that, works business as usual. I am beginning to start harassing this lady about the garden. I sent her.
Don't harass her.
No. I sent her an email a week ago, and then I just sent her a text a little bit ago. And because she had told me by last Monday, a week ago, I was supposed to have an answer.
Oh.
Still haven't heard from her.
Yeah.
And so I just told her today. It's like if we have it, awesome. If not, can you just let me know soon so that we can keep looking if we need to.
Yeah.
So hopefully she
in.
texts me, or hopefully she texts me soon. So yeah. But other than that, that's all I got.
We're going to make it happen when we're in
It's happening. We will, even if we have to
backyard.
dig up the front yard of the elementary school. Set us up right there. Yeah, can you talk to me? You pull some strings, right?
Lauren might be fine with it.
What about the roof of the school?
Sure, with
There
the
you
school.
go.
Have you seen those businesses in like grocery stores that grow on their roofs? Like, what a good use of
That's
space.
amazing idea, yeah.
The green roof.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Years ago, I did landscape lighting and high-end landscape lighting, and we did one project. It was up on the kind of balcony of this downtown. Like it wasn't a skyscraper. It was down on the Lodo side of area, and it was really neat. They were sitting up there listening to all the traffic and whatnot, and it's still in the weeds. So it was fun. He was a good guy too. Nice guy.
Cool.
Well, Jake, we're glad you're here, and since we've already moved on,
Yes.
Bob Nelson.
Oh,
Hello there, sir. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm spending a lot of time in the bathroom again.
Oh no.
Remodel.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for being with us. The remodel.
You know what? You were gonna use our tiles.
Yeah, I might still do that. I don't know. I might just go ahead and buy that. It's a small area, and I might just go with a strip cutter kind of thing because that's all I really need for what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, putting in real tile this time, and I started the demo work today, which isn't really fun. I don't like the demo part. It's it's messy. And yeah, my knees are sore, so pulling up the floor and everything. But yeah, I'm excited about doing it. It's the first time I've done like real tile. I've done vinyl tile several times, and that works really well. We've had 2 appraisers come through for when we've done refinances, and Joyce had to point out to them when they were here, by the way, that's not real tile. So because you can do really cool things with vinyl these days.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this one, real porcelain tile, and it'll be fun.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, but with that, I'm taking spring break off too, so it's good.
For that reason?
For that reason, yeah.
Very good.
And, yeah. So just to get her done and make sure I have plenty of time to do it. So because I knew this is going to be a lot more than a weekend project.
For sure.
Yeah, part-time weekend project. So.
Well, all right, Bob. Well, glad you're here, man, and you keep on doing that good work. I need some coffee.
Yeah.
Making our way around the circle, Tracey White.
Hey.
Hello, sir.
What's up?
How are you?
How y'all doing? Oh, wait. Had an awkward moment this weekend. We were lazy on Sunday and went through the drive-through at Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
And drove up to the window, and I opens the window, and I always like to ask anybody I interact with, how you doing? And he says, oh, I'm doing great. How you doing? I said, I'm doing great. How you doing?
Oh, dear. Senility is sinking in.
I hope not.
I got to the concession stand and they say, enjoy your movie, and you say, you too.
Senility's sinking in. It's for Kathy too, because you know she thought she lost her phone today, and
All right.
we asked you to look around.
But technically, she did lose her phone. You couldn't
She
find
did
it.
because she couldn't find it. The funny thing is, I looked around the house a little bit, and I really looked out in the car a lot, to make sure it didn't slide down between the seat or whatever. And turns out, apparently, it was on the arm of the couch in the family room. It had to have been under something. It had to have been under something. Because I looked there, I looked at the table and all that. I even checked in the cushions, but I guess it was on the arm.
Well, I went to the school. I looked all around. Left word with the custodians, which, by the way, they're shampooing the hallways this week.
Oh.
So I did take down the curtains.
Okay.
And things, so that's all done. But our setup is still all the same in the makerspace, so that's good. So
That's
it'll still be
nice.
cool.
Very nice.
Makes this next weekend a little bit easier anyhow.
Yeah.
Except for Bob.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pipe and drape man.
I've been great.
See, work is work, and we got a new mattress this weekend, so we haven't slept because you got to break it in for it to feel anywhere close to what the showroom mattress felt like.
Just need to invite people to test it out.
Yeah. Y'all come over and jump on the bed.
That's funny.
How you doing?
Well, as I've already sort of displayed, I don't know why I'm just so. I didn't think about the
Time change?
See?
Yes, I see. Senility.
Time change. Senility has set in. Time change, that is certainly part of it. But I'm also a little bit, I'm not sick, but I'm dealing with whatever's in the air right now.
Yeah.
And I can always tell it's an allergy thing because I can feel it right here and I can feel it in the back of my throat. No fever, no anything like that. No, I can just tell allergies. Something's blowing in.
Yeah.
It's that time of year, so
Yes.
I'm feeling that.
Some of our flowers started
Plus
poking through.
cottonwood or something.
Probably.
But yeah, long weekend. Going into the weekend, actually, I thought the interview I was having with the school was happening on Thursday night, but it changed and became Saturday.
Mhm.
Well, that's fine, except for we had planned to have dinner with Kyle's parents.
Oh.
And, we've never met his parents. So it's kind of strange. I can't believe it's been like that. But yeah, future son-in-law, never met his parents. If Melissa and he had been in high school, this would not even be a thing, and we'd have already met him.
Yeah.
But, so I was thinking we're going to have dinner with him on Friday because my interview will be over and I'm all, stress-free or whatever. And so when that switcheroo came, it was we had a great time with him, by the way. Went to a great restaurant, Seasons 25 is it 24 or 50? What is it? I can never remember. Season something. Really nice. They were great. But the whole time, I had this in the back of my mind. I got this interview in the morning. I got this interview in the morning. And so it wasn't my normal bubbly self, pretty much like right now. And near the end, I started yawning, trying not to. It was bad. But yeah, so then the interview, of course, and the interview I'm talking about is there was the possibility of me being the music teacher at the school.
Right.
Big change, big great thing there. If it works out, and if it doesn't work out, it's also fine, right? No big deal. But for some reason, I was really feeling the pressure on this one. Because even in the back of my head, I'm like, if this works out, this is going to be a wonderful thing. If it doesn't, it's clarity, as Bob and I often talk about. I know this is not what I need to be doing during the week here. And so, but when you have people that you feel like are kind of pulling for you and kind of counting on you, you can't just be a doofus, right? You can't just come in and go, I don't know. And it wasn't one interview, it was 3 interviews, and so, 3, it was a rotation kind of deal. But,
It's kind of like speed dating, but it was
kind of, yeah.
speed interviewing.
Speed interviewing, there you go. And what's kind of funny about it is, it's not really funny, but I mean, I knew everybody, right? So I had like 5 people around some tables, and they all know me. They hardly even have to introduce themselves. And there were a few other people who were interviewing for teacher positions there, and I could tell, I said, well, Pastor, they look really nervous, and I'm like, I'm being greeted by, by the people. And that was in every one of those rotations too. But but it was intense for some reason. I just really felt the weight of it going through. And when you have that kind of pressure, sort of a mental pressure, it just drains you so much. So I was feeling that on Sunday a little bit too. Caused me to be more emotional, but but it was interesting though to go through each of those things and to know each of those, everybody who was there. But the funny part to me is, I don't know if any of you guys have met Sam.
Yeah,
you've met her. She's one of the teachers that works in the department that I am working in normally. And in my first session, I came in and she's just sitting there smiling. And after we went through the thing, she's like, see, I told you, Johnny, don't worry. I got you. I'm like, I feel like I was cheating or something. I had inside person. But anyway, so that's on word. And today, no word yet. No, but the thing is,
well, that
there's
just
still
means you didn't make it.
Well, part of that is there's still some application process that's still in the works. And so I probably won't know anything until the end of the week. But either way, the tough part's done. So, there's nothing more I can do in that regard. So.
Cool.
But that's me. I know I gave it to you. I was yawning too. But I am toast today. And then adding the allergy stuff, it kept me from sleeping well. And even though I slept in today for the first time in months and months and months, I didn't feel rested when I got up. So. Anyway. But the rest of the week's gonna be great. Yeah, I'm on spring break.
Except for the weather.
Hiking tomorrow, and we'll be back and enjoying being inside.
Yeah, that's good.
Watching movies or something.
There you go.
All right, guys, let's talk about the weekend. Woohoo! Or Sunday, rather. That was pretty fun.
That's cool.
I wish Morey was here so he could live up his bass part.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's talk him up for a minute. It was so nice, isn't it? Huh?
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, it's here.
Yeah, you can hear it well.
Yeah.
That was nice, yeah.
Kind of added some depth to the acoustic set.
To the feel. I mean, I have no permission to be holding Morey's bass, but I just wanted to show it off here for a
Oh,
second.
he'll probably hit you a little bit. I think you'd be okay with it.
Anyway,
Nice.
pretty cool. Morey was on that Sunday. Love it.
Is that knob supposed to fall off like that?
Yeah, kind of pretty much like Harper's Craft at the end of the service.
Yeah.
She brought it up to me. I'm like, hey, great, and it fell off.
It falls off.
Yeah, that was
Sorry, it's
embarrassing.
intact again.
Good.
Just glue. Just glue.
Is it hanging on the fridge?
No, Usually sits on the counter for a few days first, and then
Yeah.
we'll decide. Yeah.
Right.
It's fridge worthy, or do we just put it in the cabinet or something?
That's one of the things Kathy always did was everything the kids made, she kept. We had boxes and boxes.
Oh, wow.
Since gone through those and culled, the collectibles, I guess. But
These days you can kind of take a picture,
that's true.
and let it be in digital
It's just
space.
not the same.
Instead of taking, leaving it there and never looking at it, you can take a picture and never look at it.
Yeah, but it takes up less space with that kind of guilt. Yeah,
True.
we saved a little box. I mean, it's about this big of different things of our kids. There's like moments that we did.
See,
save.
Kathy needs to talk to Leona about that
Yeah.
because Kathy got things down to one box for preschool and
Oh no!
box since preschool. So yeah,
That's not too bad. 2 boxes.
still.
Not like a little keepsake box.
Yeah.
Like, these are moving boxes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was funny. But anyway, we're gonna rambling. We're gonna ramble.
Yeah, that was-
That's okay. So
So you
it was fun.
tried.
Sunday was fun.
You tried to wrap up the guardrails.
Yeah, I just
But-
got to stop doing the way I'm doing it.
Yeah. Don't tell us you're gonna wrap it up. Just
I'm
keep
not.
going
I'm just
till-
gonna say today we're talking about. And that's it.
Yeah. There you
Deal
go.
with it.
Because I never get it.
And eventually we'll get to the end.
Eventually, we're gonna finish this thing. But I'm surprised actually that we've been doing this for this meeting.
No, I think it's great though.
Well, good. It is valuable stuff, without a doubt. Oh, and that reminds me too, our friend Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy.
She was there Sunday,
Yeah.
and left a great comment. You saw it too, right? On Facebook.
Yep.
I said, I love this church, she said. So, checked into
Yeah.
Compass Church with the links, and I love this church.
That's awesome.
We love you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was telling me when she came up and Bliss was running in, and she goes, "Yeah, Bliss asked me this morning, are we going to go to that church today?"
Oh,
And-
great.
And Cindy, of course, says, "Well, yeah, of course." And Bliss is like, "Yes, this is my favorite church."
That's awesome.
It's my favorite church also.
And also,
What a coincidence.
But I thought that was kind of sweet.
That is
Kind of a nice sentiment there. Little word of encouragement.
very true.
What else about Sunday? Service, music, yeah, it was great. I mean, we didn't describe that a whole lot, but yeah, it was nice having an acoustic bass, which is a new element.
Will we see that a little more often?
Yeah.
Probably.
I think so.
Oh, the coffee break was flagged again? Copyright flag?
Yeah.
Does somebody have to watch that, like be actively watching, or can a bot do that?
No, it's an algorithm of some kind.
Okay.
What's frustrating about it is there's no way to report them.
Yeah.
So if you say or you claim some kind of copyright on something with Facebook, they, I guess, assume that you're the copyright holder. So, I mean, but they don't, and every time, sometimes it's a week later, sometimes it's like within the hour.
Yeah.
So-and-so has accepted your dispute and released their claim on you.
There was a business that did that? I mean, like a well-known business that did that, right?
Yeah,
It's a
History
History
Channel.
Channel. So what you do is you put a copyright claim on the History Channel logo.
That's right, that's what I should do.
And
Yeah,
then
that
every
would-
time they air something on Facebook, you get flagged. And then you can say, "How do you like me now?" I'm kidding.
I don't know. I think there's like a blanket thing they'll use. I don't know. What's interesting about this is you can go to places and you can purchase stock footage and things like that.
Yes.
But this isn't even that.
Right.
It's a website with a guy, and then this is old too. It's been like 10 years, and maybe that's why it's easy for him to get away with it right now. I don't know if the guy's still active, but he just would, he'd create videos, short clips, broad kind of, subject matter and stuff. And you didn't even have to ask permission. It was free to
All
use.
royalty-free, huh?
Royalty-free, whoever wanted to use it for any purpose. I mean, literally, it's that broad of a license. And so, the thing is, whenever you're that generous like that, other people take it and they say, "Oh, that's mine."
Yeah.
And they can actually end up getting the rights to it if you're not careful. So,
Wow.
anyhow, all that to say, it's not a
we have
big deal.
decent camera, and we could probably just
We most
film
certainly
our
could.
own coffee cup.
Well, we've had this conversation a number of times, and what usually happens is you can own the copyright yourself for a video, post it online, and someone else can still claim it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what happened to Michael. He wrote music and stuff, and
Yeah.
somebody said, "Oh, this is mine." He's like, "What are you talking about? I wrote this." So anyway, and even with this video, the very first time we used. By the way, what we're talking about is our intermission coffee pouring video.
With Michael's original music.
Well, the
That's
first
right.
time was not with his original music. It was some other stock deal.
Right.
But I didn't know if it was stock to be able to be used in any possible way. So that's when Michael just said, "Here, I'll make some for you. You can use them." Oh, great. But the video is what's flagged.
Yeah.
And both of them are companies, not really even companies, they're probably just a couple of dudes in a back room who are from some Arabic nation somewhere out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, both of the ones recently that have. What was funny was a couple of weeks ago when they both at the same time tried to claim that it was their video.
Oh, that's funny.
But what I don't like is if it disrupts our feed in any way.
Right.
Now, the recording and everything on the feed is not disrupted. It's still there. Everything's fine. But I hate for it to cause a problem in our service. So,
Right.
which it did Sunday. It was like, "Hey, what's going on?" I mean, it was around the computer. And I was like,
Yeah.
"What's going on? Is the FBI about to bust in? What is going on here?" So, anyway, so we do need to probably make our own and do something simple. In fact, I may do that this week. But every
While
week.
you're hiking, set up a little thing.
No,
take a
yeah,
little
that'd be
video
kind of
of it.
nice. It's not a
Yeah.
bad idea.
Nice outdoor, venue. And
Yeah, I like it. That's a good idea.
How are you gonna get the coffee like really hot mid-hike?
yeah.
The steam.
It's my thermos.
It's true, just have the coffee there
But-
steaming on the trail.
That assumes, of course, that I'm going to carry that extra weight.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got a camping burner you can haul up.
Hey.
We're on to something here. We're on to something here. Still yawning. Sorry, people. Thank you for joining us.
Sometimes we're just tired.
Sometimes we're just tired. Actually, it's every week.
It's
we
like
say that,
usually we're tired, but sometimes we're more tired than
but
just tired.
deliriously tired.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what else about Sunday morning?
It was priorities. We talked about priorities, right?
Yeah, that's right. Got to
Put your spouse second
Yes.
and your kids third,
Yes.
because God goes number one, right?
Yeah, and it's a little counterintuitive, but I am passionately convinced that this is the way it should be.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
it's kind of like if you don't put God first, you simply will not love that other person in the best way, because the best way to love your spouse is by having God's love in your heart and your relationship with Him passionate and strong.
Yeah.
So that's the thinking on that. And then, I didn't go into all the reasons why you should put your spouse above your kids, but even, it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean I don't care about you kids, this is my woman, it's not,
Well,
it's
people
not
get
bad.
confused about that because the Bible does say hate your mother and father. And, I mean, really, the word is not like a hate. I guess the original word. I read this somewhere that it was more of a. But by comparison, it would be like despising, everything else in comparison to God. So
That's interesting.
so people get hung up on that sort of language when it's like, well, that's not what it means. It doesn't mean put God first and everybody else is like in the back seat. It's,
Yeah, if you're putting God first, you love everyone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Exactly.
jump on John 3:16 a little early.
Yeah.
Because
What is John 3:16?
So John 3:16 is for God so loved the world that He gave His one and only Son, that whosoever believes in Him shall not perish, but have eternal life.
The
So,
only problem with this is that you went in whisper mode.
sorry.
It's okay, we'll bump it up.
Yep. Hello. Anyway, so
whisper mode.
Jesus, when He says, you need to hate your mother and father and family, He's not contradicting what He's saying with John 3:16 or love your neighbor as yourself. He's not doing that. Like you said, He's making a comparison. He's using a hyperbolic statement to get everybody's attention.
Right.
To say, hello, pay attention to me now.
Yeah.
And, and this is how we need to love, because he loved us first.
That's right.
Yeah, interesting that you brought that passage up, because it isn't one we talked about at all on Sunday,
Right.
but interesting comparison. That is,
It's like that.
it is similar, yeah, in the sense, well, when Jesus was talking there, I mean, the context is a very different kind
Sure.
of thing. And it is the situation where there is a day coming where if you have to choose, between what your parents are telling you, and if what your parents are telling you is not God's truth, where you choose you're not going to listen to them.
That's right.
You're going to follow Him, and that's always the deal. Same thing with our kids. And there is going to come a time, there sometimes is, where the division in families has to do with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, as much as He draws us together, He also draws such a hard line
Yeah.
that it does separate in that regard. So
Right.
anyway, so that's a whole different message, a whole different thing. In this thing, though, with our kids, it isn't about that extreme, hate them. It's
No,
more
no.
of a if you
The comparison was about the priority.
yeah priority. So if God is first, and then your spouse is second. On a very, very simple, practical level here too, if you build your life around your kids, and this will come out in the parenting series, which I will do later, you've chosen, here's the thing, they are beautiful, wonderful people, our children.
Yeah.
They're terrible as gods.
Right.
So we don't want to
They're
worship
such
our
demanding
kids.
gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the old gods. They're the harsh. You don't want to make them your god, and most people wouldn't say that. But I mean, if your whole only priority is focused, everything they want, and even as they get older, the world revolves around them. You're like the kid, and they become little monsters. So that's one of the messages down the road is how to keep your kids from becoming little monsters. But anyway, so that's the idea behind that, is you don't want to focus on them. You want to nurture them, you want to love them, you want to help them also put God first
Right.
in their lives. So, but on a very practical level, this also means, and I've known people like this, they built their whole life around their kids, and when the kids were gone, they looked at each other and didn't know each other, and
Yeah.
their marriage just
Yeah.
disappeared because they hadn't been pouring into their marriage the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, another intuitive thing, by loving your spouse, you are loving your kids. You're providing that, strong, stable environment that all kids need to grow up in. So,
Right.
anyway. Listen, can you hear it? I'm starting to leave this a little. It's the allergy.
And you're going hiking tomorrow?
No, maybe not. We'll see.
Might clear you out.
Yeah.
Get out of that, all the sodium chloride that's on the streets and stuff.
Get up in some altitude.
Yep. Yeah. And so a friend of mine, he ran into that exact same problem. His wife had, and he wasn't a great husband in retrospectively, it was a two-way street on that one, but it was that same kind of thing. She had created, she was mom, and her kids were more important than he was. And as they got older, she started freaking out because she's like, what am I going to do when they graduate? What am I going to do when they're not in the house? And it almost broke them apart.
Wow.
And so they managed to figure things out, but he was like, I'm done, ready to be done with this stuff. So it was really close.
There are so many things about that. Yeah, there's so many great things about that we will. Probably this year. I'm thinking in the fall. Just about kids and what we should do, what we shouldn't do, things that are counterintuitive. Not as the guru. I'm not a parenting guru, even close. But still, there's biblical truth that we can all apply. Do our best with. At the end of the day,
At the end of the day,
They're
when your
free moral
kids get
agents,
old
as we
enough,
say.
they're going to make their own decisions, and you're not going to agree with some of those decisions. You're still going to love them, though.
Absolutely. And I always said too, it's like the old phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Please at least lead them to the water. Right? Sometimes parents are just like, oh no, I want them to figure out God and all that on their own. Well, then you've completely, just abandoned your role as a parent. You're going to guide them in work things and learning to drive and what to avoid and where to go, but you're not going to talk to them about God.
Yeah.
And some parents think they're disqualified because of their bad choices, and they're not. They're not disqualified to share.
Right.
Well, it's like what you said yesterday towards the end of the lesson. A lot of kids are going to get it from just watching the parents do it. Going to Sunday, going to church on Sundays and doing things with the church throughout the week and stuff. Just that. I mean, that's where all of like my exposure came from growing up.
Yeah.
And there were times where it was you're coming to church with me, but there were also times where
It's all right.
as I got older, it became more and more my choice. But because of that time, spent growing up doing that, the choice was pretty simple. It's like, well, I want to keep, being a part of the church and everything. So, yeah. So lead them to the water. Like
What's
Johnny says.
so funny? I don't know why, but an old commercial popped into my head about, what the kids learn from watching their parents, and it was one of those Dare, whatever. It was the war on drugs thing.
Where did you learn those?
The parent finds the weed in the kid's bedroom, and he's like, where did you learn to do this? And the kid's like, I learned from watching you, Dad.
I remember that commercial. A shot.
It just popped into my head.
Oh,
Did you go?
Oh, no, I remember it. Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've ever seen that one.
As a great follow-up, there was a series of memes a couple of years ago that popped up where it's like, don't let them get into art. It's a gateway drug to doing other creative things.
True. Yep.
Well, but back to what you were saying there, at the end, what I was talking about, Jake, it's more caught than taught.
Right.
The only caveat in that too is that, although it isn't really a caveat, but if you're one way at church and totally different at home, you're teaching a whole different lesson.
Right.
And that is sadly the kind of thing that I've dealt with students along the way, is that, the parents kind of try to act all, holier and all of that while they're at church, but at home everything is, and that message is much louder than anything anybody at church would be saying to them.
Sure.
It's all about being genuine, and not perfect, as we always say, but at least genuine.
Well, I'm really glad perfect isn't the standard, because I think we'd all fall short.
No one would make sure.
Yeah.
You mentioned a minute ago about just because you might think that you're disqualified from parenting, and they just use those mistakes, learn from them, make sure your kids know, and go from there. It's I learned a whole lot more from my parents' mistakes than I did from their successes. Let's just say that.
Us, as parents, being willing to admit that we made mistakes is a huge thing too.
Yep.
Sometimes that still doesn't come across. I don't know how many times I've been like, kids, trust me, we know. Mom and I have made these mistakes, the ones that you're making right now. Just please listen. What do you know?
Yeah. It's sort of a universal.
There is that point. You also often learn better from your own mistakes than you do from anybody else's.
That
And yet
comes
you
back.
still have the responsibility.
Yeah, no, I still
Share and
remember
teach.
whatever I told my dad. Dad, I'm really sorry. He's like, for what? I said, everything. You were right all along. All along the way, whenever you would say this, and I would be like, you don't know what you're talking about. I was wrong. You were right, and I'm sorry.
That's awesome, Tracey, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's what we hope our kids say to us one day.
Well, Andy did that kind of. He says, because I told him that story, and one day he says, well, I'm not going to tell you were right, Dad, but you weren't wrong.
Well, that whole bit too, I think it's probably what got me even mostly choked up about the song I was quoting on Sunday.
The kids part.
Yeah, it always gets me. It just gets me because these aren't words from a song I heard. They're words I wrote because they really flowed out of my heart. You know, kids would come one day, they'll go. I thought that was a funny moment. Looking at Melissa sitting there, one day.
What?
So anyway. Just
She's like,
And then they come back and then they go again.
all right.
oh, they're gonna die or something?
Yeah, but that'll, you know, where God will lead them, I don't know.
Yeah.
But where He leads, I pray they'll follow, because I'm not even quoting it right now. As their parents showed them how. I think.
Right, yeah.
It's been a while since I looked at this song, but it's like that we've shown them how to follow God is the idea. And so, yeah, that always gets me. It's not getting me now because I'm not as tired in the same way. As
Like it gets you because you love your family so much.
Yeah,
And family
definitely.
is so near and dear to us, you know, our families are, so.
So true.
Yeah. If you didn't care, it'd be like, eh.
Right.
So there you go.
Well, that was cool. It was cool to go through that. How much time we got?
Not much. I mean, we have just a few minutes. Yeah,
Let's
we
go
got-
ahead and wrap that thing up. Was there anything else about Sunday that we wanted to bring out, call to attention?
Couple of weeks till Easter.
Yeah, Easter.
Easter's not far away, man.
Are we doing a full worship team on Easter Sunday?
Yes,
Okay.
we
That's the
are.
idea.
That's a great question. It's so big Sunday, and this is always the case. Usually, Jake, when we hit Easter, Easter will be Big Sunday moves to Easter, whenever it is.
Okay.
Every now and then
For
we'll do
April.
a couple in
Gotcha.
a row.
Yeah.
But I think it's what we did last year. We did two
Did we do
kind
Easter
of big
and then Big
Sundays.
Sunday at the end?
Yeah, we did before, but we're not this time.
Right, just, so Easter is Big Sunday.
For April, that is correct.
Right, okay.
And hopefully we'll have a very fun day. I mean, I threw that out there to everybody about the grilling and
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
kites and
Big
hunt and all that stuff. So we're gonna get everybody kind of signed up to lead some teams for that day.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. What else?
Trying to think, what else?
I think the dead silence
Yeah.
means it's time to wrap this thing up.
Wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Like a
All
rebound.
right. It's funny we talked about kids more than marriage today. But messages on, but I had to hit on it.
It's a flow through.
It's a flow.
Kids are often very closely tied to marriage.
That's true. That's so true. Well, all right. Well, hey, you know what? We meet somewhere in the world every week, always online. You can find us on Facebook, Compass Church Colorado, and you can discover more at compassdenver.com. We'd love to have you as our guest this Sunday. All right, that's all we have for tonight. Final words, guys?
Love you guys. Love everyone out there.
Likewise.
This has been great.
Grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight, and we are out.
Bye.
We're out. Out, out, out. All right.
Out and about.
Boy, I'm really feeling it. I feel like I'm caught in my head or something.